Back with more Titans. This is episode 3 of season 3. Very excited to continue see what's going to be happening next and to finally have caught up with these initial 3 episodes that they dropped. As I'm recording this, episode 4 comes out tomorrow anyway, so it's like a Titans-filled week for me, and a lot of editing. But we've been powering through, we've been getting the episodes up, and they've been copyright claimed, not blocked, which is fine by me. I don't make money off of them, but at least they're up for people to watch, so that's something. And here we are for episode 3, called Hank and Dove. I feel like they've done every combination under the sun by this point of this kind of title. We've had Hawk and Dove. Have we had Hawk and Dawn? Is that one that still needs to happen? I don't know. But I feel like we've just had like Hank and Dawn before as well, and all the different combinations it feels like, so I'm kind of like, which episode's which? But this is Hank and Dove. I wonder what that's going to kind of entail. Is it going to be exploring the fact that Dawn more so is still in the place where she's Dove all the time, she's been happy to suit up? Hank more recently hasn't been suiting up as Hawk, he's chosen to just be Hank. Is that what that's referring to? Is it just because they're once again maybe the focus of the episode and they, you know, didn't have any of those titles in mind? I don't know. But either way, I've loved this season so far. Can't wait to see where it's going to go with the whole revelations of the last one. Everyone, well, Dick found out that Jason is Red Hood. I assume he's going to tell everyone else, and we're going to see some aftermath to that. And yeah, we'll see what other chaos ensues next, I suppose. But yeah, I'm excited, so let's get into it. Oh yeah, digging him up to make sure. My god, that's the brightest the show's ever looked, isn't it? What's going on here? Well.
Then Ra's al Ghul.
Unlikely, he's in Kadim.
If someone's bringing people back to life, maybe they can bring Donna back.
Kid's going down.
I mean, we'll see.
So now we're killing Jason.
He wrote his own ticket.
I mean, Hank would have killed him in previous seasons anyway.
No one's getting soft. Dick's just trying to do what Bruce wants.
Why? Because Jason's his brother.
Yes.
Well, he's not mine. Give me 10 seconds alone with that kid. I'll make him wish he stayed dead.
Oh my. Go and eat some more dog food and calm down.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know I fucked up.
Talk to me, pal.
Oh dear. No, this is going to be a trap, isn't it?
You gotta come back to Gotham, man. They're saying Jason's alive. Needs your help.
Yeah. But can he then face what he did to Joker if he's alive now?
Where are we going?
Go to the old Gotham Observatory.
Gotham Observatory.
He was just saying, like, we can't be soft, we have to forget that it's Jason, and now he's like, oh, it's Jason, I want to help him.
Take off your shirt and pants to prove you're not wired.
Come on, really?
At least take him out to dinner first.
Full money?
You said it.
Oh my goodness.
Remember, I work for tips.
Remember, it's really, really cold in here. You could have fed that with acid for you know. You just dissolved as soon as you jumped in. Oh!
Good to see you, Hank.
Well, who could have predicted this?
Just get it out of me.
Oh shit.
Is that a bomb?
Oh.
It's a gift.
Oh my.
This is pretty bitchin'.
Connor.
The countdown isn't seconds. It's the number of heartbeats he has left.
What do you mean countdown?
Do your way, Dick. That always turns out well.
Gold bars. Did he have a white cat on his lap, too?
Not the best situation.
You come after family? We show no mercy.
Alright, Dom Toretto, let's calm down.
Our game is to save Hank, not Jason.
It's not one or the other.
It might have to be eventually.
Let's just keep our priorities straight.
I knew he was screwing with me.
It wasn't your fault.
I mean, it kind of was.
Stop planning your next orgy and relax.
Who says an orgy's not relaxing?
Don't encourage him.
That's my boy.
He's in a battle with his father. So he's going to use the weapons of his father. The abused becomes the abuser.
I need you to build a deactivator using these blueprints. You read through those schematics faster than any human ever could. You can do this.
Wait, reading
I guess that's
is
true.
assimilating other people's work. You want me to build something this complex in less than 3 hours?
Well, alright then. As long as we're clear.
You got this.
If you don't, Hank's going out with a bang.
I'm not exactly in a giving mood.
Hank's attached to a bomb. I'm not asking.
Oh, now you pan things up when whenever he's about to blow up. Oh, okay, well, yeah, that's a great idea, isn't it? That's certainly not gonna make the heart rate go faster.
I screwed everything up.
Yeah. You're gonna keep screwing it up.
The original deactivator functions remotely.
Oh, damn.
Check the locker room back exit. Side alley.
Camera was out. Our friend.
Well, how about that? Oh! Oh dear. Oh, is she seeing things from Jason's point of view when he's like on the slab? Is that what she's been seeing?
You should talk to him.
I don't know what to say. I go in
Don't
there
blow up.
for one reason only, to say goodbye. I can't do it. It's a game to make us look like criminals, to turn Gotham against us.
And you're willing to let a friend die to keep that from happening?
Well, if you do, you might as well just get like hunted down as criminals and all killed anyway. Is she like heisting the gold herself? Because Hank going off on his own little mission worked out so well, didn't it?
Prepare for life. Henry, old man.
See all these flashbacks and shit, it's making me nervous.
You think this place has a big enough chandelier?
Hey, when bats have sex, they gotta have something to hang from. Maybe it's a sign
They should have never left DC.
that I never should have left my family. That's not what you do. No matter what.
You come back, you get a bomb in you, mate. I mean, you do you.
I got too much left to do. And so do you. Get the hell out of here.
Oh.
Counting on you bozos to get me out of this mess.
Oh, that was a really good scene.
Aye, aye, Captain.
See, it feels like they're doing goodbye scenes with all the characters. But it's only episode 3, guys. Let's calm down. Oh, well, hello.
Always dropping in at a bad time.
Show me your face. We end this now.
Well,
This is about the pay-per-view. It was all Dawn's idea. I deny everything. How are you feeling, buddy? You know, pal? Well, I gotta say,
I like that he's keeping his spirits up.
pretty goddamn scared.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're doing your best by me. Always have.
Aww.
I'm on my way to see Jason.
I like that he's still checking in on other people when he's in this situation. It says a lot about his, like, his character, I guess.
What happened to him is on us. But you cannot let him tear this family apart. We work too goddamn
I
hard.
think
to build
it's
it.
a bit of both, isn't it? Jason didn't help himself.
What the
Oh.
hell is this?
I've got the deactivator as promised.
All you have to do is kill me.
What happened to you?
Same thing that happened
Oh,
to
there's going to be more to
I
that.
grew up.
Look, he set up Hank. So there's going to be this, a similar thing here, surely.
You gotta get out of here. Take Crypto with you.
Oh, but surely you know there must be a trick to it. This is why you're in the mess.
Go!
Oh shit!
Oops. My bad. Looks like I gave you the detonator.
Fuck! Fuck! Oh, they would have saved him. Oh no! Fuck! Oh. He's gonna feel so guilty as well. I wanna jump off a bridge. Oh, Crypto stayed with him till the end. Oh. Well, that was very depressing. Well, that was a hell of an episode, yet again. I mean, there's loads of signposting, I think, to what was going to happen to Hank at the end, but also it was still quite shocking to actually see it happen, because he's been around since, I think it was like episode 2 of season 1, so, you know, Hawk and Dove, they've been mainstays for a while. So to see Hank go out like that is actually quite a big deal, especially this early into the season. So that's certainly escalated things even further than they already had been. You know, I think it was fairly stupid of him to fall into that trap in the first place, and get the bomb, you know, put in him and stuff, when he was literally saying, like, we need to separate ourselves from this being Jason and focus on taking him down, and then he did the exact opposite of that and tried to help Jason out, probably knowing it's a trap, and got himself trapped. And then Dawn berating him for going off on his own, then going off on her own, and not even for a second thinking, oh, there must be more to it than this whole detonator situation. Surely he's got a trick up his sleeve like he did with Hank in the first place. That's why we're in this mess. There's a few moments like that I'm like, come on guys, surely you'd know better. But at the end of the day, they did still have them act a bit dumb like that, but there were consequences for it. You know, Hank is all over the place, really. So it's not like they had them make those dumb mistakes and then Hank just survived anyway, and like, let's carry on. You know, I don't think there's any coming back from that, you know, unless Rachel does something really, really good with her powers when she shows up and she can actually reattach little bits of blown up person. I don't think there's any coming back from it. So that was crazy, and I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen going forward with that, because these Titans are dropping like flies. I mean, we're going to get Donna back, but now, oh well, Hank's dead and we can't bring him back. So that was quite something, really. Very, very sad. Because, you know, we spent a lot of time with Hank, really. They've done a lot with his character. They just obviously had him and Dawn patch things up earlier on. He was having all these really lovely scenes. I like that they did highlight, I think this was the best and worst of Hank, really, in this episode. Him being a bit dumb, falling for Jason's trick like that. But also just those little moments where he openly admitted, you know, he was terrified of what was going on. But like the scene with Gar, which is actually I think one of my favourite scenes of the episode, and then when he was talking to Dick on the phone as well, he took time to make sure that they were alright and ask them how they were doing. And like, you're like, God knows, less than 4 hours away from dying, and you're still like making sure others around you are okay and your buddies are okay, and you can still have a bit of a laugh and a joke with them. That probably does help him with the, you know, unwavering fear he was feeling. But I like that. He was still making sure that people were safe. You know, he was telling Corey to get out of there and take Crypto with her, because he's kind of accepted what may have been happening. So moments like that just show the genuine care and passion that Hank does have for people and has for people that he cares about. And the fact that he had to rebuild that, you know, as we saw in flashbacks, and we even got a few flashbacks to that episode here, when he was remembering his early days with Dawn, you know, after he lost his brother, stuff like that. He's had to rebuild all of that. So to see that he had gotten to that point again was really nice, and a cool little character arc. And this is going to change the game going forward for sure. You know, this is going to be huge for Dawn, obviously. And the fact they made her be the one to actually use the detonator and actually be the one to kind of kill him is just the extra twist of the knife. And the fact that Connor had got the thing sorted and he was right there, it was just that bit too late. And you know, he would have managed to do it if Dawn hadn't pressed the trigger. And oh, why did she go off and get, you know, do what Jason wanted, play into his hands? Why? You know, it's a messy situation, because Dawn obviously is going to be in a state of panic because she doesn't want to lose Hank. And there's no guarantee that Connor was going to, you know, make this thing in time. So she wanted to go out and act. I get that. She probably wasn't in the right headspace for dealing with all this, because she's going to be worried about Hank. But still, like, after all those close calls that you've had in the past, surely you would... Well, it's all messy and stuff, you know. People have flaws. It's a very human reaction, I guess. I mean, I'd be utterly useless in that situation, so I can't entirely judge. But yeah, that was just so sad. Like, that last moment where he just like, well, I guess this is it. And earlier on when he was like, I'm not ready to go yet, it's just the extra tragedy to it. But it certainly escalates things with, you know, Jason and his standing as Red Hood. Is there any coming back from that? You know, is that going to be the worst he gets? Can it get any worse than this? It's certainly positioned him as like, okay, this is a very powerful threat we're dealing with here. Like, Jason's capable of some serious shit. You know, he really fucked us up. So from that standpoint, I actually think it's quite interesting, and to see everyone's reactions to Hank dying was really sad, and there's going to be more explored with that, I imagine, in the next episode. But yeah, it's just... It sucks, I guess, to lose a major character like this. But plot-wise, I think it's going to be an interesting thing for other people's stories. So it's not. I don't think it's just shock value. Even though the actor playing Hawk is currently filming a new show, so maybe I should have known. But you know, I don't think it's just, well, he's dead, we definitely had to write him off. I feel like they are going to do more with it, and there is going to be huge consequences with this, and it does firmly put Red Hood on the map as, you know, the villain of the show for now, which is very interesting, and who knows where they're going with it, but I'm intrigued, and it's ballsy of them to have such a shocking moment this early on in the season. You know, it's only episode 3, and we've lost a key character, and not one that's probably going to come back from the dead, like all the main characters that have died probably will have done, or will soon do. So yeah, that's quite the void that's going to be left now, and how is Dawn going to cope with that? How is Connor going to cope with that guilt? Because I think he's going to feel a bit guilty for not quite getting there in time. And of course it's not his fault, but I feel like he's going to put that on himself. He's going to be angsty, but when is Titan's not angsty, really? So yeah, that was that whole situation. A bit of stupidity, I think, on Hank's part, in a sense. Certainly the best of worst of his character, like we said, that they explored. And, you know, Dawn's lapse in thinking and not expecting tricks up Jason's sleeve was probably a bit naive of her as well. But man, brutal, the consequences of those, you know, very human mistakes. Hank's dead. Dawn was the one who actually detonated it when Connor was right there and could have saved him, probably just in the nick of time. And yeah, I think it is impressive that I think they very signposted where this was going. They had him and Dawn get back together properly. He had like a very goodbye scene with Gar and with Dick as well. It felt like they were wrapping things up with his character. And in particular that scene with Gar, I'm like, I wish we'd seen more of that pairing now and that friendship. But I guess that's not going to be the case because kaboom. But it was a really lovely scene, just felt very real and human between the two of them. Definitely a standout for me of the episode. Very well acted, and yeah, it sucks, but I think there is going to be some good stories going forward with it. Hopefully. I think the same is going to be said for Donna's stupid death at the end of last season. I think there's going to be a cool story for her coming back and everything, so that should be interesting when we get to that. I don't know when that's going to happen. I was hoping we would have at least seen Rachel by now, maybe not have Donna be brought back just yet, because we're already doing the, Titan's dead and come back from the dead with Jason, so it probably would have been a bit soon for some of that, but I was hoping we'd have seen Rachel by now, but maybe in the next one, we'll see. So yeah, that's a whole last mess, and we'll see where they go with it. And I liked seeing Connor actually, you know, go to work on trying to make this device from scratch. I really enjoyed how they kind of worked out through Scarecrow's intel that Jason was using Wayne Enterprises technology in the bomb, so then they could access the schematics and make something to try and stop it. I thought that was very cleverly done. It showed Connor's intelligence when he was kind of actually working on the build and trying to get it done. Cool show of his powers as well when he was like super speeding it. That was all really cool. Dick trying to take the initiative of getting more intel and, you know, pleading for information whenever he could, going on wild goose chases if he needed to, trying to just outright confront Jason and put an end to it. And the fact that he didn't want to actually actively face Hank face to face and like say goodbye. He's like, I'm not, if I go in that room it's just to say goodbye to him, I'm not going to do that. And that firm belief that they were going to win the day and save him. But he also wants to save Jason too, and maybe that's going to be the downfall, maybe that's going to be where more mistakes are made, maybe he needs to learn that lesson. And the last goodbye Dick kind of had, I mean, he lost Donna as well. He didn't even get to say goodbye to her then. He probably doesn't want to relive that pain with Hank. Maybe it's almost better in a way that he didn't get to say goodbye to Donna. But I think he also has that hope that Rachel's going to bring him back to life. And the latest goodbye in a way is what happened with Bruce at the end of episode 1, and he's just fucked off. So I think Dick's had his fair share of like goodbyes and losing people. He didn't want to face that again, but now he still has to. And Dove has, you know, knocked out some security and stolen some gold, so the Titans are still going to look bad. Jason's gotten what he wanted and Hank's dead. So it's a bit of a mess, really. But at least there are consequences to some silly decisions. But yeah, I liked everything going on with that, and Connor getting things sorted. I've already talked about it, but I love the scene with Gar and Hank just talking. There's so much heart to Gar as a character. I think that's why he's my favourite, and I really hope we get a lot of him coming up. They hinted at more animals, I think, in episode 1 when he was looking at different animals he could be, so I'm sure we're going to get something new at some point with him. I'd like some focus on that at some point. But just him crying at the end and Corey, her instinct to just run and hug him. Oh, I love them. That was all very well and good. And speaking of Corey, we're getting a few more hints. Like she had like another weird episode in this one. It didn't seem to like take her over or whatever. So there seems a bit of a difference there. But I also liked the dynamic between her and Barbara. There seemed to be like something there that they could build a respect for each other. But I really liked that Barbara didn't argue it when Corey was like, I'm not asking, you know, Hank's our friend's in danger, I'm not asking. Barbara didn't fight it back or try to delay things further. She was like, well, let's go and see it then. I quite liked that. That was cool, and I think those two could get along quite well, and I think that would be interesting if they explore that further. But I liked what the little we got of that, and seeing more about what happened to Jason's body after he died, how it was kind of taken from the morgue. And then she got like a flash of someone being wheeled away again. So now I don't know if that's like her past, or is she seeing through Jason's body or something? I don't know why that would even be a thing and why that would be happening to her, how that came about. That could be completely wrong. I still think maybe it's going to be like a Blackfire thing, like messing with her or something, but I just don't know. But they're still reminding you that that's going on with her, and that's going to be a mystery that gets addressed at some point soon as well. So I like that they're still checking in with that, continuing that little side story. And we saw Jonathan Crane again, very briefly, getting some more intel to Dick about this father figure and what Red Hood's connection to it could be. And he's going to be using the same tricks as the father. I think that made a lot of sense, and it's obviously what ended up happening. So I quite like the role of Scarecrow giving us this intel. It feels very, if you've seen the show Prodigal Son, which hideously was cancelled after 2 seasons, it's bloody brilliant. You know, it's the main guy goes to see a serial killer to help him solve other cases involving other serial killers and stuff, so we can like get intel and MOs and stuff from him. He also happens to be the serial killer's son, because Prodigal Son. But that's not exactly the situation with Titans and Dick and Jonathan Crane. I mean, that'd be a hell of a twist, but I don't think that's where that's going. But it feels very similar to that, and I really like that concept, so that was quite fun, and I'm sure we'll see a bit more Scarecrow as time goes by, and the fact that they have introduced him at this point, and it does, I still, my crack theory of him tying into the whole Jason situation, and maybe being the one responsible for making him Red Hood, it could still happen. I mean, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, but apparently I hear episode 5 is the one that's going to explain what happened to Jason and like fill in the gaps of him becoming Red Hood, so I'm very excited for that one, and that's not too far away really. But yeah, it's cool to see more Jonathan Crane as well. And yeah, just really raising the stakes, some very sad moments at the end there as well. Poor Crypto, like wanting to stay with Hank right until the end, so he wasn't on his own. Wholesome. Very sad and very wholesome, regardless. But yeah, quite a big loss for the show. You know, I think I have struggled in the past with like Hank and Dawn relationship drama that I haven't really cared for. There's been a lot of it. I'm like, oh. So I guess we're not going to get any more of that, which is a plus. But I always think Alan's a really great actor, so to potentially be losing him from the show is a shame. But I am intrigued to see where they're going to take all of this. And if you haven't seen any set filming pictures and stuff, skip ahead about 20 seconds when I talk about something. I'm also very intrigued about Hank dying here because we've seen Alan on set filming with the actress who plays Donna and the actor who plays Tim Drake. It seems like those three are like a big trio for a bunch of episodes. So how is that working? No idea, but we're going to see, regardless. But yeah, that is going to be everything for now. Another fantastic episode. Season 3 is not pulling any punches. It's been phenomenal. Can't wait to see where they're going to go next with it. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.